So without further ado, I want to introduce our guest. His name is Randy Starks. He's a 12-year NFL veteran, former NFL defensive lineman, two-time Pro Bowl All-American, and he's now the defensive line coach for Loughborough College. Randy, thank you for joining us today. It's truly an honor. And actually, we've been working at this for a while. Our team reached out to you a while back, and I know you've been busy with other stuff, but we finally made it happen on this platform. So, Randy, thank you for joining us. How are you and your family doing today? Welcome.
Everything's good. Appreciate you guys for having me. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm glad to be here.
There you go.
Nice. And shout out to the chat as well. See, we already got people in the building. We got 15 people in the building. If you guys can, please smack that like button. I'm going to shout out my guy, Punjab Kings fan, who was in the building. Of course, my guy, Jonathan, as well. We got Dev Finch, who's in the building. And, of course, the main producer, my guy, Celso Porto. But we're going to start it off with Randy. We want to get into Randy's career. Just a little bit of
a follow-up question to that. And when you were in Tennessee, you played with great talent, like you said, Kevin Carter, Albert Haynesworth. I had the opportunity to interview both of them, so Kevin on the show. And but talk about the late Steve McNair and what was it like playing with him, and just devastating to see what happened to him. But one of the great players in the league, and just talk about being his teammate.
He was a good guy, very humble. I think at that time, he was having injuries that year, so we didn't see too much of him, if any. But I hung out with him. Very nice guy, very humble guy. Didn't treat me any different, So that was pretty good. But like I said, the whole the team was a lot of vets. I think the previous year, they might have won 13-3 or something like that, 14-2 or something like that. So all those guys took me in. They showed me how to be a pro. I was blessed for that.
Dope. Bobby, go ahead, Bobby.
Oh, Randy, I want to ask you about your free agency period when you left Tennessee to go to Miami, and you missed Jason Taylor by a year, which I saw. But take us to the process. Did you reach out to Jason Taylor to talk about Miami and the atmosphere there? And you played with Channing Crowder and Joey Porter, and Channing Crowder, man, a great player. Even Joey Porter, obviously the host of the Pivot podcast. But talk about the free agency thing and playing with Channing Crowder and Joey Porter in Miami.
I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't really know what was going to happen. My last year in Tennessee, I kind of got in the doghouse. So I wasn't really getting as much playing time, reps as I would like. And it came along, and I think it might have been, I can't remember, maybe Houston, somebody like that. There was other teams involved, probably like two other teams. By Miami step up to the plate. And I didn't see that coming. And it was exciting. Like everybody, I'm thinking,
what up, fellas? Randy, appreciate you making time this morning, man, early on a Saturday. So before I even get to the fan questions, all right, I'm going to throw my own out there because as a Jets fan, from what I remember, you had a phenomenal game in 2012 against us. But I want to ask you before we jump into that one, was there one game that stood out to you that as your favorite game, your best performance game? I mean, you had the 2 Pro Bowl seasons, which were phenomenal. Granted, I hate giving credit to Dolphins, right, as a Jets fan, but my best friend is a Dolphins fan, so I promise you he's throwing a couple of questions your way today too, bro. But what was your favorite game in your career?
So long ago. I mean, I had so many of them, man. I was just blessed to be out there. I had a couple player of the weeks. I mean,
you see, it's a good thing when you got to sit there and pick and choose, man. Like, he has so many, like, let me think.
I mean, if I had to guess one, if I pick one, I'll say maybe.
Thank you so much for your time today. It's so interesting to hear about, going from something that you're comfortable in and then to taking yourself to another level and making it pro. But how did you handle that change mentally and physically, especially when suddenly you're inactive, you get there? How did you handle change?
It was tough. But I must say I had a good supporting cast. My mother and father, they helped me through it, told me to keep working hard. It's a mindset. Like one thing I tell even the kids I coach now is like football is not for everybody. It's tough. And it's every level, high school, college, and NFL. I had to second guess myself, like, this is what I really want to do, because I'm telling you, it's not for everybody. And some of the things I tell people is everybody wants what it looks like, but nobody wants what it feels like. Everybody see what it looks like, the success. That's in anything. That's not just in sports, right? That's just in life. Everybody see what it looks like. You know, you see the car.
And welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you. I had a question for you. I mean, with your background, is there playing in your NFL experience? Obviously, is there a offensive tackle who you love to get past so you can get to a particular quarterback? Like, who is the tackle and who is the quarterback that you love to get past and get at?
Honestly, it's whoever you're going against that week. You know, it varies. But I would say that as a group, the best offensive line was probably the Patriots. They not too many times they had that one outstanding player, but it just worked so good together. And Brady did a good job of having them on the same page. That's probably like the overall as a group, they're the toughest one. But I mean, so many guys to go against. I mean, it's the NFL. You know, everybody's good, everybody's great. But as far as my favorite, it's week to week.
Because you got the Manning and you got the Breeze, right? So
say it again.
Guys, down. You took down Manning and you took down Breeze.
Yeah.
Correctly.
Yeah.
And
I'm not sure if you've seen the clips going around with Chad Ochocinco talking about his diet and McDonald's and everything that he ate. Can you speak on how you went around your preparation and how important diet was for you? Were you a chicken tendy McDonald's type of guy like Ochocinco?
All right. To be honest, I didn't do everything right, like I said before. So that's one thing as a coach, I try to get these young student athletes on the right path. So I played 12 years. I had a long career, but I didn't do everything right? My whole mindset was when I go to camp, it's going to hurt anyway. Yeah, that's true. But in the day, I'm spending my first 2, maybe 3 weeks trying to get in shape versus actually getting better and working on my craft. So now that I'm older and I'm looking back at it, it's like, dang, if I did that 12 years, maybe I could have made 15, 17. And so, you know, it's still a good career, but I think I still left some.
One thing I love to hear about athletes is how they first got into their sport and all the way up until eventually their career ended. So can you tell us about what got you into football and then kind of how you progressed?
Well, I guess I was always into sports. I did everything. Except for soccer, right? But I did football, I did basketball. And a lot of people don't know I was in high school actually a better basketball player than I was football. So my whole mindset was, I'm gonna go to the NBA. You know, I'm gonna be one of the youngest players to ever go because I graduated like 17. So that's my whole mindset. And then I remember my football coach, I think it was in 10th grade. He was like, Randy, what you think you're gonna be 6'10"? He was like, you're a football player that happens to play basketball. Like, that's your ticket, basketball. And sure enough, things turned around and I started getting my offers my junior year. I had a good year for football and basketball that year. But things turned around and I started getting offers for football. And then that's when I knew, football.
Thank you for being on the show. Appreciate you coming through. I wanted to start off, obviously when you were drafted, I think it was back in 2004. I just want to know what it was like going through that process after college and, what's it like, being there? I believe it was the 3rd round, right? So, just kind of what goes through your mind going through everything like that. And after, being a new player in the league, once you're drafted, how does it feel just coming right into the building with all the veterans and all that good stuff?
Well, I had mixed emotions. I left the University of Maryland after my 3rd year, so I left on the draft early. I was expected to go 1st round. They had me top 3 defensive linemen. And at that time, defensive linemen were, going fast. They was going like 5, 7 in the 1st round. So I came out. I slipped in the draft. I ended up going 3rd round. So I went from, being down to, all right, I'm excited. I'm ready to make this happen. So once I got to Tennessee Titans, it was an older group. I had McNair, Keith